debt is being used as a tool to get everybody stuff. It's all about stuff and things. It's personal. They want their own personal freedom. We're going to have to learn to sacrifice what we want the most. Hey everybody, it's Red Taylor here, and I've got a big old favor to ask of you. If you would, go down and subscribe to the YouTube channel, and also please share this episode with someone that you care about. Man, that would mean the absolute world to me. You never know, it could mean the world to them as well. So thanks a million, and please enjoy the show. Hey everybody, Red Taylor here with the Red Hot Read, and I wanted to bring you a little information on a topic that I think is absolutely vital to all of us. And it's going to hit home with you. It's going to hit home with everybody out there because it's personal. And let's talk about the premise or the situation with your personal debt, your finances, and how it's stealing your joy, okay? We live in a society where debt is being used as a tool to get everybody stuff, to get all the things that we want. Everybody wants a nice house. They want a nice car. They want to have nice things, nice jewelry. Y'all see all my jewelry, right? I'm not a big jewelry guy. They want to have a nice furniture, flat screens, big stereos, all this nice clothes, these nice shoes, and they want to go on all of these nice trips. It's all about stuff and things. Well, the fact of the matter is that a much larger percentage of our society are buying these things or acquiring these things using debt, using things like credit cards, bank loans, and that is creating a massive problem in your life, okay? And if you want to understand where this comes from, let's go back to the scripture. In the scripture, the Bible says that the borrower is slave to the lender. And y'all, there's so much truth to that. I've never realized it as much as I do now at this age, where I am in being a self-employed entrepreneur for the last 25 years. I've been extremely thankful and blessed to have a debt-free business. I've never taken on debt in this business. Now, if I've bought real estate and I've bought investments and things of that nature, sure. You go and you use a little bit of debt to buy assets and things of that nature. And it used to be a lot easier when interest rates were down at 3, 4, 5% versus where they are now at 8, 9, 10%, and even up into the 12s that I hear for some of the hard money loans out there. But let's talk about why we are using debt and how it is stealing our joy, and it's putting everybody, a lot of the people that you know, a lot of people that I know, in very compromising positions, okay? Think about it. Think about it. Seriously. How many people do you know that go to work a job, they get up in the morning, right? 6 o'clock in the morning, they hit the shower, they get dressed, they go grab a cup of coffee, and they're sprinting out the door by 6:30, 6:45 for a 45-minute, 1-hour commute into a company, a corporation, into a job that they don't like, to work for people that they don't like, to make them money, and sit around people all day that they don't really like, and it's absolutely a debilitating, soul stealing act that they enter into on a day-to-day, week-to-week, month-to-month basis, right? We all know those people. And then at the very end of the day, they're watching the clock, 5 o'clock, boom, they get up, they shut down, they sprint back out into their vehicle to that other 45-minute to 1-hour commute all the way back home. And so the frustrating part is, think about the hour there and then the hour back. So you're 2 hours in your vehicle, an hour and a half in your vehicle of bumper to bumper traffic, okay? People who are doing the same thing that you are, they're not happy, they're not joyful, and the ride there is absolutely irritating, it's frustrating. So the mindset that you're in, the things that you're saying to yourself, the cuss words, the bird flips, all of the tough scenarios that you get into navigating traffic, right? And so the mind frame that you put yourself into, is it joyful? Probably not, okay? And then you get home and it's 6 o'clock, 6:30. You haven't seen your children all day. You haven't seen your spouse all day. You haven't seen your dog all day. There's all kinds of responsibilities and chores that are awaiting you at home. And all you want to do is relax, decompress, try to find some semblance of joy and happiness. But now you have to give attention to all of these people that you do actually care about and that you do actually like and that do have impactful meaning in your life. So it's dinner, it's communication, and then by 8 o'clock, 7:30, 8 o'clock, 8:30, you're able to sit down in front of your television, decompress, and then you go to bed at 10:30, 11 o'clock, and you wake up tomorrow and you do it all over again. Why? That's the question. Why do you do it? Why do Americans do that? Why do people all over the world enter themselves into this type of conduct that absolutely wrenches their soul, that takes their identity away from them, steals their joy, steals their ability to achieve and accomplish the things that their mind, that their dreams had for them at one time? Why do they do it? Because of the debt, okay? The debt. They have to pay their house payment, right? You got to pay your mortgage, okay? Well, you need your health insurance. Everybody's got to have their health insurance, right? That health insurance has to come. Where does 90% of America get their health insurance? Do their job. Oh, you mean the job that they love? Oh, no, it's the job that they hate, that they're working because they got to pay all their debt. And they can't leave their job because if they leave their job, they can't pay all their debt and they lose their benefits. Silly, okay? Their car payment. You know, the average car payment in America today is almost $800 a month. $800 a month, okay? Think about that for a moment. It's a method of transportation that gets you from point A to point B so that you can conduct tasks that need to be conducted. Well, how many of those tasks would actually need to be conducted if you didn't have to pay all those bills, right? Okay, and we're paying almost $800 a month, okay? That's over $9,000 a year just to be able to transport yourself from point A to point B. That's not including all the insurance, all the gas, all the maintenance on the vehicle, and all the silly stuff that we buy to put into the vehicle to make it nicer to impress people that we don't like and don't care about, that really don't care about us either, okay? Imagine if you took that $9,000 a year over the next 20 years and invested it into the stock market in a good growth stock, small cap, international mutual funds. Just ETFs. Just go put it in ETFs. Okay? What would that $9,000 over the next 20 years return you? Probably what, $2-3 million? I hope you like your car. Dave Ramsey says, I hope you like the car. Because that's what we're giving up. And that is the average car payment in America now. Okay, so we got to pay our house payment, we got to pay our car payment, we have to pay all the insurance on those things. As mom and dad have a car payment, okay, and if you got teenagers, well, now you have a third car or a fourth car. My wife and I, we've got 6 children, so we've had the youngest is 13, so we've had as many as 5 of them at one time. Thankfully. We've been fortunate enough to be able to pay our cars with cash and buy our cars with cash. And we don't buy brand new vehicles. We're not going to do it. I mean, it's not an asset. It's a liability. And so what we're giving up is the opportunity for financial growth when we do that, or for peace and prosperity. Okay? Well, let's go and talk about all the other things that the debt brings us. Okay? Well, it brings us our nice furniture, right? That we get to sit on from 8 until 10:30 at night. Yeah? But we got to have, it's got to be nice, right? I mean, that chair that dad sits in at night to watch his TV, oh, it better have every button on it to recline. It better warm and heat his bottom and backside. Every now and then, maybe a little massage, feel good, okay? And those sofas, they better look so nice and match everything. That flat screen, that new 80-inch flat screen that cost $2,500 that we bought on a credit card, by the way, that we're paying 18 to 22% interest on because we couldn't afford to pay the $2,500 in cash because all the money that we make from the job that we leave our house at in the morning to go spend our time, that we trade all of our time for all this money, has gone to pay for all these other things. And then the kids have activities, and we got to get groceries. We got to pay for uniforms. So why do we do it? Why do we do it? What along the line of our life has told us and programmed us that this is the way that it's supposed to be? Okay? And how do we change it? How do we flip that script as a nation, as a country, okay? As a people, to go towards a direction that says, you know what? Enough is enough. It's not the way it's supposed to be. Back in the 1950s, 1960s, okay, a man went to work. He earned a wage. He was able to afford a home. He was able to afford a car. His wife stayed home, okay? And I don't care if you're black or white, Hispanic, Italian, it didn't matter. That's the way it was back then, okay? Mom stayed home. She raised the family. She kept the home. Dad went to work. One job, okay? And they were able to afford their life. Well, in 1972, we went away from what's called the gold standard. And ever since then, the inflationary rate of the dollar has been going sky high, okay? I think at the beginning of 2023, the dollar had lost about 81% of its value. Now, our inflation is up over that. And don't believe I'm not going to tell you what to believe and what not to believe, guys, but think about it, okay? You look at the CPI, you look at the numbers coming out of Washington, D.C. and the White House and all of those geniuses up there that are making all of these laws and these rules that are governing our lives, and they tell us, oh, well, inflation is at 3.1, 3.2%. If we can get it under 3%, everything's going to be really, really good, right? If we can get it back down to 2%, old Grandpa Jerome Powell at the Fed told us that then we can go from a stall in rate hikes, okay? We can pivot to rate decreases. Well, let me ask you something. Do you feel that inflation is at 3.2% in your life? Heck no, you don't, okay? When's the last time you went to the grocery store? The same basket of groceries that you were able to buy in 2020, 2019, and 2020 for $200 cost you $447 today. Why? It's inflation. They're not worth anymore. It's the same pack of cheese. It's the same gallon of milk. It's the same loaf of bread. It's not worth $440 versus $220. It's called inflation. That's how it hits your life. What about your insurance cost? Look at the price that we're paying for insurance, okay? Insurance cost is up 18%. That's not 3% that they're telling us. Look at the price of a home. Today, the price of a home, the average price of a sold home in America is right at $400,000. Ladies and gentlemen, I have children who are 29, 22, 21, 20, 19 years old, okay? I've got guys here with me right now that are that same age group, okay? It pains me to say that the idea and the prospect of them owning a home anytime soon is virtually impossible. What do the 20-somethings do in order to make enough money to afford a $400,000 home? What kind of work do they do? Oh, they get lucky and become an influencer, right? Yeah, right. Do the numbers on that, okay? And so why are we in this scenario? Why do we allow these people to go and make these rules for us and make these laws for us? Because that's what it is. It's the rules and the lawmakers up there that are creating this scenario for us. If we were on the gold standard, if each dollar printed was backed by a measurable amount of gold, then it's absolutely factual. We would not have this level of inflation. Hey everybody, Red Taylor here, and I wanted to remind you that if at any time you're interested in shopping your health insurance or life insurance rates, my team of experts work for my viewers for free. So reach out to us, click the link in the description at redtaylorinsurance.com, and we'll go to work. We'll see if we can save you a ton of money and upgrade your benefits. If we can't, we're going to tell you, hey, stay right where you are. What you have is working, and we're happy for you. If things ever change, let us know. So reach out. We're happy to help. Enjoy the show. And people would not have to live in this system of indebtedness that is stealing our joy and shackling us, absolutely binding us to an existence of dang near misery. Okay? You have a situation right now where home prices are at their highest level. Interest rates are 7, 8, 9%. And so home affordability is at its absolute lowest level in the history of our country. Why? Okay? These are questions that we need to be asking each other. These are questions that we need to be asking ourselves and looking in the mirror and saying, what can I do to help? What can I do to change? Because it takes action. It takes action from each and every one of us to get involved, to learn what's going on around us, to be able to go and be force multipliers and make a difference to change the system and change our existence. If you're an adult and you're a family man and you have children, what does their future look like? Who's going to make it better for them? Who's going to make that change? Well, I contend it's you. I contend it's me. I contend it's each of us. We all have to step up and take action. We have a government that's going out of control with their spending. Ladies and gentlemen, we're at $35 trillion of sovereign government debt. Our minds can't even imagine what $1 trillion, my mind I don't even understand what $1 trillion is, okay? But we're 35 trillion in debt. The interest on that is compounding at a rate by which we're adding $1 trillion to the debt every single 90 days. And there's no end in sight. All they want to do is keep printing money, keep sending it to all of these countries for all of these wars or causes that nobody in America gives a crap about. I mean, look, unless it's written out on the map, there ain't too many people in America that can find Ukraine on a map, can you? Never even heard about it before 2 or 3 years ago. Okay? Why are we sending hundreds of billions of dollars of taxpayer money to Ukraine? Makes 0 sense whatsoever. 0. Okay? Why are we taking 12, 15, 20 million illegal immigrants, illegal aliens that have crossed our border illegally, i.e. like they have broken the law? Like, once you cross the border illegally, you're a lawbreaker, right? I mean, I do think there are laws in place, right? That's why they're called illegal aliens. So why do we take taxpayer money and give these young, capable, foreign illegals taxpayer money to give them health insurance, to give them debit cards, to give them free housing, to give them free clothing, all of this money? But then you've got our veterans and our seniors who their Social Security, their Medicare, their Medicaid is running out. We're giving these people that have never done one thing to enrich our nation more money than we're giving the golden, the seniors, some of which were part of the greatest nation ever, the greatest time ever that saved our country, more money and more resources from all the taxpayers, the workers that are paying into the system. And that's another question. Ask yourself this. If we can just print all the money that we want to print, which is what they're doing, they just keep printing money, billions and billions and trillions of dollars out of the Fed. If we can just print all this money out of thin air, why do we need to pay taxes anyway? Why would we need to pay taxes? Why are you paying taxes? They can just print money. Why am I paying taxes? Is that legal? So these are some of the things that I think that are questions that we need to be posing to ourselves, that we need to get serious about looking for answers and finding the reasons that these things have occurred and that are occurring regularly in our life and looking for solutions, okay? If we're going to get out of the debt-ridden cycle that so many of us are in day after day, month after month, year after year, we're going to have to make some changes. We're going to have to learn to sacrifice what we want the most, which is going to be joy, peace, freedom, personal freedom. That's what everybody wants. They want their own personal freedom. Well, what is personal freedom? Well, I contend that the definition of personal freedom is being able to do what you want, when you want it, how you want, with whom you want. How many of you have that? How many of us truly have that? And why don't you? Because we're unwilling to sacrifice what we want now for what we want the most. I don't need $1,000 a month truck payment. I don't need a BMW just because the lady next door has one and it'll make my wife look good. We don't like the lady next door anyway. Okay? All those people in that school line, we don't need that. They don't care about us. All they want to do, all your neighbors, let me tell you something. The only people that ever want to see us win, that ever want to see you win in life, are the 5 people that are closest to you. They're your family and your children. Your closest family and your children. They're the ones that are going to celebrate your wins and your victories, okay? Your friends, your neighbors, they're jealous. All they want to do is see you fail. They'll say it to you. Oh, congratulations. Nice job, Red. Hey, we're happy for your promotion. But then when that door shuts, man, he didn't deserve that. He did this. He must have smoozed so-and-so. He must have... Nobody wants to see you win. They don't want to see you win. Because if for 90% of the people out there, when you win, it makes them feel bad. Makes them feel inadequate. So quit spending money we don't have to impress people that we don't like, that don't care about us. That is a simple solution to a ton of our problems. And I implore you guys to do that today. Look for ways that you can start cutting money out of your budget. Okay? First and foremost is you have to get serious and disciplined, and you got to get a budget. You got to write it down. Okay? Dave Ramsey says that we have to tell our money where it goes on paper. If you don't tell every single dollar where it goes on paper before it comes in, then what happens at the end of the month is it tells you where it went. It tells you how it went out. Get yourself a written budget. Okay? Baby step number 1. Get $1,000 emergency fund. Why? Because Murphy will show up. Something's going to happen. Your transmission's going to go out. The air conditioner's going to go out. You're going to have a plumbing leak in the toilet. There's going to be a problem. And if you don't have $1,000 emergency fund, how are you going to pay for that problem? That's right, Ting. Credit card. Credit card. Now you got to cut up all your credit cards. You got to cut up all your credit cards. Okay? Ask any human being who has ever gotten rich, who's ever become a multimillionaire, how they got rich. Not a single one of them is going to tell you they did it with a credit card. Fact. They didn't do it with a credit card. Okay? List your bills from largest to smallest, your credit bills, and start paying off the smallest ones first. Put all your money to the smallest one. Just pay the minimum on the biggest ones. Who cares about the interest that's accruing? If you're really, really smart, if you're a financial genius and guru, you wouldn't have accrued the interest anyway, right? Right. Okay? Pay the smaller one off. Take the money that you used to pay the smaller one off. Boom, put it on the next one. That's called the debt snowball. Dave Ramsey has a book. He's got several books. The Total Money Makeover. Go get that book. It reads like a 3rd grade book. Okay? You can read it in one day. You can have it implemented the very next day, and you can get yourself on a pathway to financial freedom. And watch what happens in your life when that becomes your reality. So anyway, I wanted to talk to you guys about that because I get an awful lot of questions. People ask me about that an awful lot. And I wanted to kind of go down that road with you guys today. So hopefully some of the information that I was able to impart today is useful for you guys and can be effective in your life. If there's anything else that we here at Red Taylor Insurance at the Red Hot Read can do, you can contact us down in the information section there in the paragraph under this. I don't even know what it's called, but anyways, you can find me there. Reach out to me, man. I'd love to hear from you guys and happy to help any way I can.